Coming up, authorities in Labette County, Kansas investigate into the deaths of 2 people.
Well, as the weather computer, we are watching, we got rain coming in. If you can hear me, Mr. Koam, we'll get to all of it here coming up.
And Pittsburgh city officials hope that a new addiction treatment center will ease the burden on hospitals and police officers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. Okay, it's working now. I'm Chris Warner. So again, it's one of those things, you got to turn this on. It's one thing to put it on. You actually need to turn it on for it to work. And then I'm glad I made a quick check. The weather computer, there was a change made to it. And I didn't realize it until about 30 seconds before the show. So I tried to fix it and then it made it unhappy. But it's happy now. Feels like Monday. Are we sure it's not Monday?
Maybe we're redoing Monday.
It's a possibility. When I came in yesterday, I was driving to work, and just the way things were, I was like, if I get to the station and I walk in and the morning crew's not there, I'm turning back around. So it didn't feel like Monday yesterday at all. But it was, which means, hey, we're already at Tuesday, and we've got another mild day ahead of us, but we've got increasing clouds, and we're watching some rain chances still. So at 7th in the range line, you can see we do have clear skies right now. Clouds will increase later today. See, now it's happier. 57 degrees in Joplin is where we are. We've got 52 Yates Center, 55 Pittsburgh, 57 Lamar, Nevada, and Carthage, and 51 down in Anderson. Kids getting on the bus this morning. Clear skies to start the day, 54 degrees with a light southeast breeze, and we'll see increasing clouds this afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, 81 by 3 o'clock when the kids get home. As we go through today, still heading for an afternoon high. It's a bit on the warm side, 83 under mostly cloudy skies later. As you can see, the clouds will gradually increase throughout the day. No rain chances today, but clouds do continue to hold on to us. Mostly cloudy skies tonight, overnight low of 57 degrees. And as mentioned, we're still watching some slight rain chances. We'll talk about that and what the weekend has to hold here in just a few minutes.
Anytime we can talk about rain chances is popular.
There's something I looked at. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, so I want everyone to know. I mean, obviously this is weather forecasting, which is best guess at its best. But 2 weeks from now, we're looking at the start of a decent rain system.
Really?
A system coming in from the southwest 2 weeks from today. The models are showing a fair amount of rain. We're talking, right now it's expecting maybe 2.5 inches of rain. Starting Tuesday, 2 weeks from now, and running through Thursday, 2 weeks from now. And the other thing it does is it socks us in with clouds on top of the rain. And again, this is 2 weeks out, guys. We'll keep a close eye on it. I hope it comes to be because we need the rain. Yeah, but it also shows with the cloud cover, keeping temperatures, we're talking max highs for a couple of days of about 47. But lows of only about 44 because of the clouds and the rain. It just kind of bubbles us into the 40s for a few days. 2 weeks from now. So again, a lot can change between now and then, but I'm hoping this one doesn't change because we do need that rain. And that's our best chance so far.
We do, and I know you're going to be following that closely.
I'll be watching it every day and see if it holds on. If it holds on, I'll just keep smiling bigger and bigger as we get closer.
That'd be great. All right, and then we can say it's not Monday anymore.
Yeah, it's not Monday. It really is Tuesday. For folks at home may be a little confused. It really is Tuesday, which is good. That means we're 2 days into the week already. Only 3 more to go.
That we are. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, authorities in Labette County, Kansas are investigating after 2 people were found dead Monday morning. The Labette County Sheriff's Office received a call around 8:30 Monday morning. The 2 bodies, a man and a woman, were found at 693 16,000 Road in Mound Valley. They have not been identified. Their deaths are considered suspicious. KBI has been called in to assist. A Craig County, Oklahoma man is dead following a crash Monday morning. Authorities say 60-year-old Stephen King of Welch was driving his golf cart out of a private driveway waiting for traffic to clear. When he drove forward, he hit the side of another car, which made him fall out and get hit by the trailer attached to that car. Authorities pronounced King dead at the scene. The driver of the second car was not harmed. Police in Oklahoma say they found 2 more victims who were wounded in a shooting at an Oklahoma high school football homecoming game. Police initially said one 17-year-old died and another 17-year-old was wounded in the shooting Friday at McLean High School for Science and Technology in Tulsa. But authorities say Monday that 2 more victims were treated for gunshot wounds, a 20-year-old woman and a 9-year-old girl. Both were treated for their injuries and released from a hospital. Police say the shooter ran away after opening fire during the football game between McLean and Miami High School. No arrests have been made. A Missouri man took a plea deal for the murders of 2 cattle ranchers. Garland Joey Nelson pleaded guilty, admitting in July of 2019 he had a business dispute with brothers Nicholas and Justin DeMel. The brothers were in town from Wisconsin to collect a $250,000 debt that stemmed from a cattle deal when they went missing. Nelson admitted he shot and killed the 24 and 35-year-old at his mother's farm and then burned their bodies. He was sentenced to 2 life terms in prison without parole. It's the spookiest time of the year, and the Waco Schoolhouse haunt is here to help cement that fact. Located inside an old schoolhouse built in 1934, the local haunt opened in 2013 by brothers Brian and Jason Wren. They say when the doors were pried open, it unveiled what time and locals did not want anyone to see. From a creepy shadow man standing in the windows of the old classroom to many other spooky sightings, the Waco Schoolhouse haunt has something to scare everyone.
Everybody needs to come out, because even if you're scared to death, we'll make it comfortable for you and we'll make it enjoyable for you. And hopefully that way you're not scared of anybody else's haunt or anything that's in your backyard or looking through your window at night.
Waco Schoolhouse haunt is opened on the 1st and will be open every Saturday and Sunday until the 29th. City officials in Pittsburgh hope a new addiction treatment center will alleviate some of the burden on hospitals and police officers. The city last week agreed to pay $400,000 to help build the center. City manager Darren Hall says the center will be beneficial for the city, saving officers a lot of travel time as well as money, since they currently are taking patients to other communities. Hall says this has other benefits for the police department as they struggle to find employees.
It takes out all the travel time that we currently have to do. If we do have somebody that needs this service and we have to transport them to their community, it's time away from Pittsburgh for our officers. We've estimated it's maybe $250,000 a year in travel time and time away, so it's a big deal.
Construction of the new center will begin in January and should take about 10 months to complete. Kansas Supreme Court traveled from Topeka, Kansas for arguments in 2 cases at Parsons High School. One case follows a man convicted of violating the Kansas Offender Registration Act. The other case involves a man convicted of aggravated kidnapping, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and several other charges. The justices of the Supreme Court traveled to multiple schools in the area to talk about the judicial system and how it works, and invited the community to join the court hearing.
A lot of things don't make sense to me, and I don't feel like sometimes that the politicians are on our side. And so I'm hoping to find out a little bit more about the system of checks and balances by looking at our highest judicial system in the state.
You can find more on these cases on our website at koamnewsnow.com. Well, if you love burgers, man, you're going to love this news about what's coming to Joplin. Last night, Joplin City Council met to approve the potential site of a future Whataburger. The proposal passed unanimously. The site will be located at 2014 South Rangeline Road and 2019 South Highview Avenue. There's no word yet on a timeline for the building or opening of the restaurant.
We've got this. I've been asked about sunrise and sunset times because it's hunting season. So I want to remind you, sunrise today is 7:16 and sunset today expected at 6:57. Getting earlier and earlier. Quick check of the 7-day forecast. There we go. We continue to warm up through the week, and then we start to cool down by Friday. As you can see, 71 Friday, and then we watch some rain chances Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. There's slight rain chances, but they're there, and we kind of have some scattered rain chances as we head through most of next week. And then again, in a couple of weeks, if everything holds, we have even better rain chances, but at least we're starting to see a little bit more rain in the forecast.
That's good.
Very good.
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the McDonald County Mustangs take on the Webb City Cardinals on the diamond. We'll have who struck out.
Plus, thanks to Bladetoberfest, Star Wars fans can live out their fantasy to have their very own lightsaber fights.
And respiratory illnesses are on the rise in children. We'll have how one is causing extreme worry due to the paralysis it could cause. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Well, the McDonald County Mustangs back in action on the road facing the Webb City Cardinals. Mustangs 15-7 this season, and they've won 3 of their last 4 games. Now, we're going to go into the top of the third where Nevaeh Dodson, she's going to crush this pitch over the wall in center field. Solo home run gives McDonald County a 1-0 lead. Mustangs will add to it in the 5th. J.C. Franken hits it deep to right for an RBI double. Then the pitch gets away. That allows Carly Cooper to come home. Dodson strikes out 12. McDonald County picks up the road win 3-1. Pitt State football cracked the top 25 after its Week 2 win over Nebraska Kearney, and the Gorillas have been climbing the national rankings every week since then. Pitt State makes another jump this week, moving from 10 to number 7. Northwest Missouri also improves, coming in at 9. That sets up a huge top 10 matchup for this Saturday when the Gorillas put their undefeated record on the line, hosting the Bearcats at 2 p.m. The only other MIAA school in the rankings this week is Nebraska Kearney at 24. Missouri Southern's Nick Williams is named the MIAA Special Teams Athlete of the Week. It's the second time the Lions kicker has earned the honor this season. Williams went 3 for 3 in field goals on Saturday against the Gorillas, including this one right here, a career-best 52-yarder. Well, this week's Performance of the Week, it's going to go to the Frontenac Raiders for their big win over Columbus on Friday. Now, the Raiders beat the Titans in Columbus 35-8. And those 35 points scored is a season high for Frontenac. They also forced 4 turnovers in the game. The win lifts the Raiders over 500 and now 3-2 on the season.
We've struggled on offense this year, and we've struggled to run the ball consistently, and in that first half we were pretty consistent. We're best when we're running the ball, we're balanced, and we can hit some big plays in the passing game. So our protection was tremendous, our running game was strong, and Cal hit some big plays in the passing game. It's just a good thing that our kids can go on the road and win in any atmosphere, and it's going to take that in some big games coming forward.
Still to come, the National Archives continues to try to get former President Trump's records, including missing letters from North Korea's leader and former President Barack Obama. Plus, we're going to take another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Well, it's time for a little weather trivia this morning because everybody likes some trivia, and why not make it weather trivia? So, our question to you this morning, what U.S. state has recorded twice as many lightning deaths or injuries as any other? Is it Oklahoma, New Mexico, California, or Florida? I'll give you the forecast time to figure out your answer, and I'll give you a little hint. The answer may surprise you. Skywatch Storm Tracker is clear locally. You can see the makings of a cold front off to our northwest. It's not going to do much for us yet, but it is on the way to us. Right now, 7th and range line, we have clear skies. We have warm temperatures, 57 degrees in Joplin with a light southeast breeze. As we go through the 4 states, we have 52 Yates Center, 53 Fredonia, Parsons, 56 in Columbus, 55 Neosho, and 53 in Monette as we start this day. Kids getting on the bus this morning. We'll start with clear skies, 54 degrees with that light southeast breeze. And then we see some increasing clouds as the day goes on, 81 by 3 o'clock with partly cloudy skies, and clouds will continue to increase, giving us a mostly cloudy day by this evening and this afternoon. 83 for an afternoon high. We hold on to mostly cloudy skies tonight. No rain, but cloud cover anyway. 57 for the overnight low. The future track, you can see that cold front, or at least what remains of it, as we head into the middle of the week. By the time we get into Friday, it starts to bring us some light or some small, slight shower chances, maybe even a rumble of thunder. And those slight shower chances hold on all the way into next week. And again, as you can see, they're scattered to isolated at best, but they are there, which is something we need. And then we look into next week, next Thursday, we start to see some slightly better chances for showers and maybe some thunderstorms. So at least we've got rain on the horizon. It may be isolated to widely scattered, but it's rain nonetheless. Back to our question. Which of these states had twice as many lightning deaths or injuries as any of the others? If you guessed Florida, You're right, Florida was the answer. In the top 10 in terms of those injuries and lightning deaths are Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Colorado, and Texas. And a quick look at that 7-day forecast shows where cold front helps bring our temperatures down heading into the weekend as we stay in the mid-80s until then we get back into seasonable weather before, as you see, the start of next week, we warm right back up. Well, the epic lightsaber fights are some of the most memorable scenes from Star Wars. Well, now people are using lightsabers and putting their fencing skills to the test in an event called Bladetoberfest. Nolan Bowman has the details on this fantasy turned to reality.
When you think of Star Wars, it's hard to not imagine the epic lightsaber fights we've seen on the big screen. But thanks to Bladetoberfest, it gives people a unique opportunity to fight with lightsabers in real life.
Well, I just love to fight. I mean, as bad as that sounds, but I love to fight. I love the energy in combat and things like that.
Similar to fencing, Bladetoberfest is a lightsaber combat fighting tournament with 30 to 50 participants squaring off against one another. This is the second year the tournament has been in Waco, as it's also taken place in Minnesota, Florida, and has a national tournament in Las Vegas. In order to excel as a fighter, it takes a great deal of grit and drive.
Energy, courage, and just willingness to do it.
Although it takes certain traits to become a good fighter, anyone is able to participate.
People come into these kind of off the street, they see what's happening and they're like, wow, this looks fun, I could do this, and I want to do it.
Regardless of skill level, the tournament's primary goal is to unite fans together, better one another, and practice their passions.
A great way to live out your nerd fantasies of sword fighting, lightsabers, and it's kind of your competitive side too if you want to take it that way, but you really don't have to. It's just a lot of fun, a lot of good people.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. Are you a fan of Star Trek, which that's the right answer, or Star Wars? You can vote. Maybe you're a fan of both of them. It's a possibility, I guess. Make sure you vote through our website, through the app, and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. We are back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, call to U.S. doctors from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to be on the lookout for a respiratory illness that's on the rise, may be linked to more cases of a rare paralyzing condition. Mandy Gaither has more on the illness and what parents need to know.
In the summer and fall, enteroviruses are very common in U.S. children.
Cold, cough, congestion, difficulty breathing, maybe worsening of asthma.
The CDC reports a rise in respiratory illnesses and visits to the emergency room in youth over the summer, and the agency is now warning doctors and parents to be on the lookout for an enterovirus called D68 that may be linked to more cases of a rare paralyzing condition called acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM.
This is what happens when this virus affects a part of the brain.
When that happens, Cleveland Clinic Dr. Purva Grover says it affects the muscles. She says parents should look out for symptoms, which can include drooping eyelids, numbness and tingling of arms and legs, and loss of muscle tone.
Those can be small and subtle, so if you're not looking, you might miss the initial stages, but eventually the devastation continues to become rather catastrophic.
Grover says the weakening of the muscles may make it harder for a child suffering from AFM to breathe. The condition requires doctors to take extra steps to diagnose.
It's extremely important to diagnose them in a timely fashion.
In addition to testing for AFM, the CDC is urging healthcare providers to test for poliovirus in people suspected of having AFM because of the similarity in symptoms. That's a look at one of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
All right, quick check of that forecast for you. We'll have clouds increasing through the day. We'll eventually be mostly cloudy with a high of 83. And as we head into tonight, we'll drop back down to 57 with those mostly cloudy skies continuing. And of course, a quick reminder, sunrise today is expected at 7:16 with sunset at 6:57. And a look at the 7-day shows where we will continue to warm up through the week before we get that cold front, 71 Friday, and then watching rain chances building in through the weekend.
Coming up, authorities in Labette County, Kansas investigate the deaths of 2 people.
Clear skies to start the day, but increasing clouds later and some rain chances. We're going to talk about all of that coming up.
And Pittsburgh city officials hope that a new addiction treatment center will ease the burden on hospitals and police officers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So we do have very clear skies right now to start the day, but we're watching increasing clouds. No rain yet, but there's some chances on the way, and then we'll have some chances throughout a good portion of next week, actually. So there's some good news on the horizon, at least in terms of rain. And I was telling you this morning at 5, and just as a quick reminder, it's still 2 weeks away, and there's a lot that can change. But 2 weeks from now, the computer models seem to think that we're going to get a fair amount of rain starting 2 weeks from today and running through that Thursday. And it's also going to keep temperatures in the 40s for highs and lows because of all the cloud cover and rain. It's 2 weeks away, and a lot can change. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and I'll be watching that computer data every day and see if that holds true for us, because we absolutely need that rain. Right now, though, clear skies, as we mentioned, 7th and range line, and mild, 57 degrees. Can you believe it's October? Just in case you were unaware, thanks to the weather we've had, it is October now. It's not, mid-September or anything. We've got 50 in Iola, 55 in Fort Scott, Nevada, 56 Lamar, 54 Miami, and 50 in Grove. Kids getting on the bus this morning. Clear skies, as mentioned, 54 degrees, light southeast breeze. Hold on to that breeze, still light, but increasing clouds, partly cloudy by 3 and 81. Going through the rest of today, we'll hit an afternoon high of 83 degrees with those increasing clouds, giving us mostly cloudy skies by this afternoon. We stay mostly cloudy through the night, and we'll stay mild, too, an overnight low of 57 tonight. We're going to talk about those rain chances and take a look at the 7-day here in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds like we got a lot to discuss.
Yeah, like I said, rain chances at all, is good news, and we have some on the way, so.
All right, can't get here fast enough, that's
No,
for
it
sure.
cannot. We
Right.
need it, and it's coming.
Thanks, Chris. Well, authorities in Labette County, Kansas investigate after 2 people were found dead Monday morning. The Labette County Sheriff's Office received a call around 8:30 Monday that 2 bodies, a man and a woman, were found at 693 16,000 Road in Mound Valley. They have not been identified, and their deaths are considered suspicious. The KBI has been called in to assist. A Craig County, Oklahoma man is dead following a crash Monday morning. Authorities say 60-year-old Stephen King of Welch was driving his golf cart out of a private driveway, waiting for traffic to clear. When he drove forward, he hit the side of another car, which made him fall out and get hit by the trailer attached to the car. Authorities pronounced King dead at the scene. The driver of the second car was not harmed. Pittsburgh city officials hope a new addiction treatment center will alleviate the burden currently on police officers and hospitals. KOAM's Yana Hatula learned about the benefits of the new center that's in the works.
The new 28-bed unit addiction treatment center and a 6-bed crisis stabilization unit is a needed addition for the city of Pittsburgh.
We'll also be expanding our mobile service crisis services to be able to actually go with an officer to a home and to be more present in the community and available for services on the spot.
Currently, the closest similar unit is in Girard. The 23 to 72-hour crisis stabilization unit will be a new concept for Pittsburgh and Crawford County.
Psychiatric medication as well as case management type services and staff that will work with them getting back home and maybe back to their jobs and getting stabilized psychiatrically.
The city manager of Pittsburgh says this new center will save a great amount of time and money, as officers do not need to transport people to other communities.
If we do have somebody that needs this service and we have to transport them to their community, it's time away from Pittsburgh for our officers. We've estimated it's maybe $250,000 a year in travel time and time away, so it's a big deal.
It will also mean more officers remain on patrol in the city during their shifts.
Our chief was one of the ones that put in a little plug for the project overall because it is such a huge impact on our law enforcement.
This is going to be a good solution with law enforcement and emergency rooms to get people access, quicker access, and the right kind of care in the right moment when they need it.
In Pittsburgh, Yana Haudala, KOAM News.
Construction of the new center will begin in January. Should take about 10 months to complete. Well, this morning we're discussing real-life lightsaber sights.
I think it's lightsaber fights.
Oh, well, the script said sights.
Well, here's the deal. I see them. So we are sighting lightsabers right here, right now.
There we are.
When you think of Star Wars, it's hard not to imagine the epic lightsaber fights that we've seen on the big screen. But thanks to Bladetoberfest, it gives people a unique opportunity to fight with lightsabers in real life.
Similar to fencing, Bladetober Fight Fest is a lightsaber combat fighting tournament with 30 to 50 participants squaring off against one another. This is the second year the tournament has been in Waco, Wisconsin.
Now, regardless of the skill level, the tournament's primary goal is to unite fans together, better one another, and practice their passions. We have no lightsaber, even like a lightsaber object in this studio. We could have had a lightsaber fight right here.
Yes, but why would we have lightsabers?
We have yardsticks, and that's the next best thing, okay? We just talked about using your imagination.
Yes.
That's what you do. What brings us to our question this morning? Are you a Star Trek fan, which I said it earlier is the right answer, or are you a Star Wars fan? I'm just kidding. I've seen Star Wars. It's good. I like it. It's just not my thing. I prefer Star Trek over Star Wars. But that's why we want to know what you like, and unfortunately, 4 states, 56% of you say Star Wars.
Well, the story is about Star Wars.
That's true, too. So it was a little biased here. But 33% of you say you like Star Trek, and 11% of you say you like both. And hey, like I said, both are great franchises. I'm just more kin to Star Trek. But make sure you vote through our website, through the app, and, of course, take part in discussion on our Facebook page. Quick check of that 7-day forecast. We will continue to warm up over the next several days, and then we get that cold front. No rain initially, 71 Friday. Then we watch scattered shower and thunderstorm chances Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And temperatures again start to warm back up next week. And we're also watching some scattered off and on shower chances through most of next week. So not just a ton of rain, but some rain chances periodically through the next few days.
That's right. Well, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News, an 8-year-old boy from Oklahoma is hailed a hero after he saves his choking classmate.
Plus, a prison riot in Ecuador kills 15 and leaves at least 20 injured. We've got the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, Ukrainian forces have announced yet more gains on the battlefield in areas Russia is trying to annex. But wins for Ukraine mean losses for Russia. That's raising concern about how an increasingly cornered Vladimir Putin will respond. Astrid Martinez has the latest.
Russian troops are losing ground by the day in Ukraine. Ukrainian forces have advanced into the southern Kherson region, one of the 4 areas Russia recently announced it's annexing despite widespread condemnation. The battleground gains come after Russian soldiers were forced to retreat from the strategic town of Lyman, another region the West says is being illegally annexed by Moscow.
Сьогодні продовжився наступальний рух нашої армії.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says his army continues to advance and is promising to return life back to normal as quickly as possible for those in previously occupied Russian territories. Ukraine's recent victories, coupled with growing discontent at home, are significant blows to Vladimir Putin. CIA Chief Bill Burns tells CBS's Nora O'Donnell he's concerned with how the Russian president will respond.
Putin cornered, Putin who feels his back against the wall, can be quite dangerous and reckless. He thinks he can tough it out with the Ukrainians and with the United States and with the West.
The exiled mayor of Russian-occupied Melitopol says he expects a massive escalation in the war.
I expect that Putin will use nuclear weapons.
Russian military has already stepped up attacks on civilian targets. In the city of Dnipro, tearful residents paid tribute to young lives taken in a rocket attack miles from the front line. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
The lower house of the Russian parliament voted unanimously yesterday to endorse the treaties for those 4 regions of Ukraine to join Russia. Ukraine and the West insist those referendums, during which votes were reportedly collected, oftentimes door to door by armed Russian troops, have no legal validity. At least 15 people were killed and 20 injured during a riot in the Latacunga prison in Ecuador's Cotopaxi province. According to officials, the casualties are still being identified and counted Members of the Ecuadorian police's tactical teams are in the place trying to take full control of the situation. The prison is located about an hour from the country's capital, Quito. The National Archives has been trying to get records from former President Donald Trump for more than a year now, and that's according to a new email the archives released on Monday. They say they alerted the former president's lawyers that his letters with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un were missing. That was back in May of 2021. They also said they did not get the letter he got from his predecessor, President Barack Obama, and 24 boxes of records. Email was released in response to dozens of Freedom of Information Act requests. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got a clear start to the day so far, but the clouds will increase later today. We got 57 in Joplin with those clear skies, 53 8 Center, 52 Fredonia, 55 Columbus, and 54 Miami as we start this day. As the kids start their day getting on the bus, the smell of the school bus on a crisp fall morning. If only it was a little crisper. 54 degrees, sunny skies or clear skies when we get out there. Clouds increase, partly cloudy by 3 o'clock and 81 degrees. And as we go through the rest of today, we're going to be 83 with those increasing clouds, leaving us mostly cloudy this afternoon. And we'll stay mostly cloudy overnight as well as temperatures drop back to a mild 57 degrees. The future track. There's that cold front, and then this is what's left of it by Wednesday morning. It'll sweep through. Now, it will bring our temperatures down Friday, but it's not until the weekend that we actually start to see some possible shower chances out of this thing. And it will give us scattered shower chances, isolated shower chances through the weekend. And then we watch next week, and you can see pop-up little showers here and there almost every day next week. And then by the time we head into Thursday afternoon, we start to see some slightly better rain chances. They're not great rain chances, but they're rain chances, and we need them. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that they do make it. Now, sunrise, sunset for those that have hunting activities possibly, or just have some other outdoor plans. We're looking at 7:16 for the sunrise today, and when it sets, it'll be 6:57. Gets slightly earlier each time. And then we're going to fall back, and the sun will set even earlier than that. Yeah, we're not to fall back point yet, but we're getting there slowly but surely. 7-day forecast. All right, we start to warm up. We're 86 tomorrow, 85 on Thursday. The cold front, again, on Friday, the first thing it does brings our temperatures down, 71. Check out these overnight lows, too, getting back into the 40s. 74 Saturday, rain chances increase, but then so do the temperatures that go along with it. And then, of course, we're watching those isolated to scattered shower chances through the rest of next week. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities in Labette County, Kansas are investigating after 2 people are found dead Monday morning. Labette County Sheriff's Office received a call around 8:30 Monday morning that 2 bodies, a man and a woman, were found at 693 16,000 Road in Mound Valley. They have not been identified. Their deaths are considered suspicious. KBI has been called in to assist. A Craig County, Oklahoma man is dead following a crash Monday morning. Authorities say 60-year-old Stephen King of Welch was driving his golf cart out of a private driveway, waiting for traffic to clear. When he drove forward, he hit the side of another car, which made him fall out and get hit by the trailer attached to the car. Authorities pronounced King dead at the scene. The driver of the second car was not harmed. And police in Oklahoma say they found 2 more victims who were wounded in a shooting at an Oklahoma high school football homecoming game. Police initially said one 17-year-old died and another 17-year-old was wounded in the shooting Friday at McLean High School for Science and Technology in Tulsa. But authorities said on Monday that 2 more victims were treated for gunshot wounds. A 20-year-old woman and a 9-year-old girl both were treated for their injuries and released from a hospital. Police say the shooter ran away after opening fire during the football game between McLean and Miami High School. No arrests have been made. And a Missouri man took a plea deal for the murders of 2 cattle ranchers. Garland Joey Nelson pleaded guilty for admitting in July of 2019 he had a business dispute with brothers Nicholas and Justin DeMel. The brothers were in town from Wisconsin to collect a $250,000 debt that stemmed from a cattle deal when they went missing. Nelson admitted he shot and killed the 24 and 35-year-old at his mother's farm and then burned their bodies. He was sentenced to 2 life terms in prison without parole. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
Yeah, check out that forecast before you head out the door. We are clear and 57 in Joplin right now, the light southeast breeze. 49 Iola, 53 Fort Scott, 55 Lamar, 57 Carthage, and 51 as we start the day in Anderson. Kids getting on the bus this morning will be clear and 54 with a light southeast breeze. And then clouds start to increase. 3 o'clock, it's going to be partly cloudy and 81, and we'll have mostly cloudy skies by this afternoon. 83 for our afternoon high, so still above where we should be. And we're going to be mild tonight as well. Still mostly cloudy, and we'll gradually drop back down to 57 for the overnight low. The 7-day forecast. We continue to warm up. 86 Wednesday, 85 on Thursday. Cold front comes in Friday. No rain in the first batch. 71 though, so much more seasonable. 74 Saturday. Rain chances increase through the weekend and into the start of next week, but then so do the temperatures. And of course, we're watching some isolated to scattered shower chances through most of next week, but we're also going to watch temperatures stay above average for the next several days. We got more of the KOAM Morning News after this.
An 8-year-old Oklahoma boy was honored Monday for saving his classmate at school.
Garrett Brown jumped into action performing the Heimlich maneuver when that classmate started choking. Becca Rain has the story.
Are you ready to hear who our real-life hero is? When I say his name, I want you to clap louder than you've ever clapped before. Come on up, Mr. Garrett Brown!
That's the 8-year-old who jumped into action when a fellow classmate was choking.
It was chicken nugget day here in the cafeteria, which the kids absolutely love. But on this particular day, during the 3rd grade lunch, there was a student who was eating, took a bite, and began choking and couldn't breathe. And so immediately the boys around him stood up and yelled for help for me, who was the adult in the room at the time, and I was across the cafeteria. So as soon as I heard them yell, I ran over. However, there was a student who went way above and beyond just calling for help, and he immediately sprung into action.
But little did anyone know Garrett Brown had some training on the Heimlich maneuver, and he moved on it, dislodging the food from Cashton York's throat, a moment neither Cashton nor his parents will ever forget.
That was extremely scary to know that in a matter of seconds my child could have choked to death on food, you know, at school when you're not around. There's not enough words to be grateful for saving him.
That sentiment shared throughout the school and community, prompting this assembly in recognition for applying life-saving knowledge no one here knew he had. Cashton thanking him publicly.
Thank you.
And in case you're wondering how he knew what to do, his dad, his own hero who saved him, also taught him.
My dad, he taught me whenever I was choking, and so he taught me how to do it in case anybody else is doing it.
You're the best friend in the whole world I ever had.
Aww.
Absolutely incredible
They're going to be
story.
friends for life, yes, for sure.
Well, they're young kids. They'll be friends for the next couple of weeks, and then, things will change as time goes on. But it's a great story.
Knowing the Heimlich maneuver, that's just an important skill for everybody to know, because you never know where you're going to be or who you're going to be around when somebody chokes on something.
I've choked on a thing or two in my life when it comes to different foods and stuff. Because it was actually just the other day. I had a pickle. And I ate the pickle, but the skin on the outside wasn't chewing up apparently, and I went to swallow, and the whole skin was intact. And I'm like, and of course Amber looks at me. She goes, "Oh, you're choking!" I finally got it out. I'm kidding. She's great. She was there to save my life, so don't worry about it. I always give her a hard time on the show, but she's really great. Seriously,
she is.
She is.
Definitely.
She's absolutely wonderful. So, you know what else is wonderful? Is some rain chances a little later in our forecast. We're going to talk about that here in just a couple of minutes. All right, we have a clear start to the day for now, but we'll have increasing clouds a little later today. 58 degrees in Joplin. We've actually gone up a degree with a light southeast breeze. We have got 53.8 Center, 57 Chanute, 56 in Pittsburgh, 55 in Lamar as we get this Tuesday underway. And Just a quick reminder, we are still in October, believe it or not, despite these temperatures. 54 and clear when the kids get on the bus at 7. Then the increasing clouds give us partly cloudy skies, 81 when the bus brings them home about 3 o'clock. And with those increasing clouds, we'll have mostly cloudy skies by this afternoon with a high of 83, still well above where we should be for this time of year. Going through the night, we hold on to mostly cloudy skies and very slowly drop off to a mild 57 degrees for an overnight low. 7-day forecast. We're 86 tomorrow, 85 on Thursday. Cold front comes in, so we drop down to 71 on Friday. Cold front doesn't bring us rain initially, but then we watch some scattered to isolated, or isolated to scattered is the appropriate way to go. Shower and thunderstorm chances Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but you can also see after a brief break, temperatures continue to warm up. And then we watch additional rain and shower chances as we head into the next work week. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News here in just a couple of minutes.
In Nation Watch this morning, former President Trump's influence is being felt up and down the ballot in midterm races across the country. Nearly 200 candidates endorsed by the former president have won their primaries. Republican candidates saw victories in pivotal battleground states, including Arizona, North Carolina, and Ohio, some of whom falsely claimed the 2020 election was rigged. Skylar Henry takes a look at why some candidates might have to slightly change their messaging to win in the general election.
With the midterm election just a few weeks away, oh my! Polls project GOP gains up and down ballots across the country.
The former president has been doing something that most presidents don't do, which is get involved in primaries in his own party.
George Washington University professor Todd Belt studies election trends. He says former President Trump's endorsement worked as a Midas touch in primary contests. But candidates who won those races may not see the same effect in the general election.
A lot more Democrats are coming out, a lot more moderates are going to be coming out, and so those Trump voters that have been very, very helpful in the primaries aren't going to be able to carry the day.
While the economy and crime are major GOP talking points on the campaign trail, Belt says the outrage over the FBI search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago home may be what drives the former president's base to the polls in November. Voters say they're sticking with the party.
We are going to lead.
Some Trump-backed candidates now representing the party in swing states including Arizona, Ohio, and North Carolina have falsely claimed the 2020 presidential election was stolen, leaving some Republicans concerned the rhetoric could set a dangerous precedent. It's made Maryland's outgoing Republican Governor Larry Hogan outspoken against his party's pick to replace him.
I made it very clear that this guy should not be the nominee and he shouldn't be governor, but I'm not getting involved in endorsing in the race. But this is not just Maryland, this is happening across the country.
Maryland State Delegate Dan Cox, another Trump-backed opponent, is also an election denier. And this election holds the fate of the small band of House Republicans who voted to impeach Trump following the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Only 2 of the 10 members made it past their primaries, either retiring or losing to Trump-backed opponents.
Do you make anything of that, just the fact that those who sort of walked out of lockstep with the rest of the GOP ultimately got kicked out of Congress?
Well, they got kicked out in the primary. And of course, Donald Trump is very popular with the base of the Republican Party, and those were the voters in the primary. We'll see if they're going to be successful in the general election.
Leaving a potential split in party ideology and identity. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
The latest CBS News Battleground tracker poll shows Republicans poised to win the House, but since the summer, that number has continued to shrink as Democrats look to continue to gain momentum. Experts say they anticipate the state of the economy to be the main driving force for voters when they head to the polls. That's a look at one of today's top national stories. Let's send it over to Chris for another look at your forecast.
Quick check of our forecast as kids get on the bus this morning about 7. We're looking at clear skies, 54 degrees with a light southeast breeze. When the bus brings them back home, we have increasing clouds, partly cloudy at 3 o'clock and 81. As we go through the rest of today, we will have increasing clouds, as I mentioned. We'll be mostly cloudy by this afternoon with a high of 83, so still unseasonably warm. Heading into tonight, though, we stay unseasonably mild. We're talking 63 at 11, 60 at 2 a.m. We'll drop back down to a low of 57, but we hold on to the mostly cloudy skies. Quick check of the, actually I wanted to show you this. Any of you have plans? Hunting, I know season is underway. So we got a sunrise set for today at 7:16 a.m. and a sunset time of 6:57 p.m. Just keeps getting earlier and earlier. And like I said earlier, Wait until we fall back and sunset is at, say, 6 o'clock in the evening. It's going to be getting dark pretty early. All right, 7-day forecast shows where we do continue to warm up. 86 tomorrow, 85 Thursday. Cold front Friday brings us to 71, and then it brings us some increasing rain chances as we head into the weekend. We're going to go a little more in-depth into your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. All right, now for a more hello, how y'all doing? This is Skywatch Weather on the KOAM Morning News, and our Skywatch storm tracker is clear locally for now. What we are looking at is this cold front off to our northwest. It's very nice looking right now. It won't look that great by the time it gets here, but it is going to bring some changes to the forecast. Right now, we have a very mild start to the day. We've got clear skies in Joplin. We're sitting at 58 degrees, the light southeast breeze. We've got 50 in Iola, 51 Fort Scott. It's almost like these two communities heard me the other day when I talked about the great difference in temperature in such a short distance along Highway 54, and now they suddenly are just kind of hanging out together around the same temperature. It's a little strange to me. We've got 56 Columbus, 55 Pittsburgh, and 55 in Neosho. Kids getting on the bus this morning about 7 o'clock. We'll still be clear, 54. And then we have the increasing cloud cover later today. Partly cloudy, 81 at 3 o'clock. As we go through today, we're going to be mostly cloudy. We're going to warm up, 75 at noon, 81 at 5, 69 at 8 o'clock with a high of 83, mostly cloudy skies. Mostly cloudy skies persist through the overnight, 63 at 11, 60 by 2, and an overnight low, very mild, 57 degrees. Now, the future track, there's the cold front, or at least what remains of the precipitation from it. As it moves into the area, it will drop our temperatures, and then it will bring us isolated to widely scattered shower chances Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It's 3 days, just not those 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and which you can see on the future track. They're scattered at best, isolated, and then as we head into next week, we watch scattered shower chances, maybe even some rumbles of thunder almost every day. Now, they're still scattered, and it's not until Thursday evening that we see a better chance for some showers and maybe a few thunderstorms in the area, which is something we absolutely need. And if you are involved in hunting season or just need this information to jot down in your notebook, sunrise at 7:16 and a sunset today of 6:57 p.m. Now to the 7-day forecast. We warm up, 86 tomorrow, 85 on Thursday. Cold front brings temperature down as promised on Friday, 71. Then the rain chances build in. We're 74 Saturday, so looking good. And then we start to heat back up. We'll heat up starting into next week, but then next week again we watch those scattered shower and thunderstorm chances nearly every day of the week, but we'll still be unseasonably warm with temperatures in the 80s pushing near 90. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, a new study confirms previous recommendations that pregnant women should be vaccinated against COVID-19 for the health of both mother and baby. Study published in JAMA Pediatrics reviewed data from women who had received at least one COVID vaccine shot during their pregnancies. Researchers found no evidence of increased risk of preterm birth, small size of the baby, C-section, or other complications. Study authors also found that getting the shot was associated with lower risk of NICU admission and babies dying in the womb. Younger adults diagnosed with early onset dementia are up to 7 times more likely to die of suicide after diagnoses. A study out of the UK looked at tens of thousands of medical records over an 18-year period and found that nearly 2% or those diagnosed with dementia died from suicide. Now, however, those diagnosed under the age of 65 faced a higher risk during the first 3 months after learning they had the disease. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and new data shows fewer women are dying from the disease. According to the American Cancer Society, breast cancer deaths have dropped by 43% from 1989 to 2020. However, Black women continue to be 40% more likely to lose their lives to breast cancer. This despite there being fewer cases of breast cancer among Black women. And among women younger than 50, Black women are 2 times more likely to die from breast cancer. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
We're keeping an eye on this feature out to our northwest. It is a cold front, which you can see trails from Minnesota back down into eastern Colorado. Now, as it moves into our area, it's not going to be it won't look quite this good, but it's still going to bring us some changes. Right now, we've got clear skies in Joplin, and we are warm, 58 degrees. We've got 49 in Iola, 51 Fort Scott, 55 Columbus, 55 Neosho, and 50 in Grove as we start this day. Kids getting on the bus to start their school day. 54 at 7 a.m., clear skies, light southeast breeze, and then clouds increase. We're partly cloudy by 3 o'clock and 81. And as we go through the rest of the day, we'll be mostly cloudy. As we head into the afternoon, temperature will warm up to a high of 83. And then we head into tonight, we hold on to mostly cloudy skies, and temperature drops back down to a very mild 57 for an overnight low. Future track, there's that cold front. This is Wednesday morning. You can see there's isolated, spotty activity along it, but it will bring some changes to our forecast. The first thing it'll do is it'll bring us some cooler temperatures, at least for a couple of days. Then it brings us isolated to widely scattered shower chances Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then as we head into next week, we're watching another system coming up out of the southwest that'll bring us some isolated to scattered showers and maybe even some thunderstorms almost every day next week. And then we'll also bring temperatures down a bit with that. And you can see by Thursday evening, that's our best chance of shower and thunderstorm activity, being at least a little more widespread. Tomorrow, we're 86, we're 85 Thursday. Cold front brings us to 71 on Friday, 74 Saturday, and that's when we see the increasing shower chances as we head through the weekend. But as the shower chances increase, so do the temperatures. 84 Sunday, 85 Monday, and we will stay unseasonably warm for the majority of next week before those rain chances help bring temperatures back down to a more seasonable level. And you can see also on the overnight lows, they drop back down. They're seasonable, but they're chilly, back into the 40s before they warm back up as well. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News coming your way.
Coming up, authorities discover 2 more victims of last week's school shooting at a Tulsa football homecoming game.
We're still above average for our temperatures this week until this guy, cold front, makes its way in and brings some changes. We'll tell you about those changes coming up.
And the Wren brothers pry open the doors to an old schoolhouse in Waco and unleash some super scary Halloween fun on the 4 states.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 6:30. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So as mentioned, we're still mild for the next few days. And by mild, I mean temperatures aren't bad, but they're above where they should be by about 10 to 15 degrees in some cases. But we have that cold front coming. It's going to bring us a few changes, and some changes that we absolutely need. So right now at 7th and Rangeline, we are clear in Joplin, and we are still quite mild in Joplin as well. The temperature is sitting up there at 58 degrees with a light southeast breeze. And we'll hold on to that light southeast breeze throughout the day. We've got 53 Yates Center, 51 Fredonia, 50 in Independence, 54 Miami, and 53 in Monette. Kids getting on the bus about 7 o'clock. Temperature's going to be 54. We'll have clear skies, and then we'll have increasing clouds later today, partly cloudy by 3, 81. And as we go through today, we'll be mostly cloudy by this afternoon with an afternoon high of 83 degrees. It is October. I just want to remind everyone it's still October despite what these temperatures say. We'll be mild again this evening. Mostly cloudy. We'll drop back down to 57 for an overnight low tonight. But it's the 7-day. And if I give it all away now, then there would be no point to weather later. But the 7-day forecast shows what that cold front does for us, at least for a couple of days, and some of the rain chances it's going to bring. We'll talk about all those rain chances and what's coming up next week here in just a few minutes.
And what's coming up down the road is what I'm excited about.
Yeah, and what Tanya's talking about, we've kind of discussed it off and on, is there's the computer models we look at, they go out pretty far. So there's a lot that can change between now and then, but 2 weeks from today, they show a system moving in that will bring us pretty decent rain and even some thunderstorm chances 2 weeks from today, running through that Thursday. And if they hold, A, it's rain that we need over a 3-day period, and B, because it just socks us in with rain and cloud cover, the models are showing where the temperatures, we reach like highs of like 47 and lows of 44. Mm-hmm. It just kind of locks us into the 40s for a couple of days. So it's going to be very cold compared to what we've seen. But again, this is also 2 weeks out, but I'll be eyeballing it closely over the next several days and see if it holds true, because we absolutely need that rain. And it's all predicting 2 weeks down the road, but it's showing, rainfall upwards of 2.5 inches for us over those few days. So something's better than nothing. But we've got some immediate short-term rain too, so that should help.
All right, sounds like a plan. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, police in Oklahoma discovered 2 more victims who were wounded in a shooting at an Oklahoma high school football homecoming game. Police initially said one 17-year-old died and another 17-year-old was wounded in the shooting Friday at McLean High School for Science and Technology in Tulsa. But authorities said on Monday that the two more victims were treated for gunshot wounds. A 20-year-old woman and a 9-year-old girl both were treated for their injuries and released from a hospital. Police say the shooter ran away after opening fire during the football game between McLean and Miami High School. No arrests have been made. Well, Halloween is just around the corner, and if you're looking to scare up some fun, the Wren brothers have just the place for you. Friends Wallace has the spooky story.
Spooky season is finally here. School's in session. Waco Schoolhouse Haunt is open for their 10th season, and they're preparing for a scare.
It's a family affair in this house of horrors. Brothers Jason and Brian Wren have opened the doors to the Waco Schoolhouse Haunt for another year. The coos and echoes of the ghosts and ghouls can be heard from the inside of the school. Safe to say your screams will too, and that's just what the brothers want.
The scares. As we tell people all of the time, some people are too scared to come in here. Some people don't think it's scary. Well, many do, as visitors last Saturday night found out. But the thing that's fun for me personally is hearing the screams.
Having 10 years in the scare game, the brothers have learned new tricks of the trade each year. Whether it's one splash of paint here or one gruesome creature there, they have really improved on the quality of their haunted house. They recruit the actors for their haunted house as early as August to prepare. And just like his brother, all the hard work and planning is worth it once they hear those glorious high notes.
I like hearing the screams out of people because they did their job. The actors did their job. We did their job on where we put them at. Jason's real good about placing people. I'm good about doing the scenes and knowing where to be able to hide people. So it all comes together.
If you're looking for a frightening good way to bring in the spooky season, come to Waco Schoolhouse Haunt. They're open on Fridays and Saturdays in October from 7:30 until midnight. Reporting in Waco, Missouri, Friends Wallace, KOAM News.
Well, the Waco Schoolhouse Haunt is open until the last Saturday in October. All right, this morning we're discussing real-life lightsaber fights.
Yeah, now when you think of Star Wars, it's easy to imagine epic lightsaber fight. Bladetoberfest gives people the unique opportunity to fight with real lightsabers. Not real ones, but with lightsabers in real life.
Bladetoberfest is a lightsaber combat fighting tournament with 30 to 50 participants squaring off against one another.
Now, regardless of the skill level, the tournament's primary goal is to unite fans together, better one another, and practice their passions. Speaking of practice, I think we're a little out of practice here. These are not the most authentic lightsabers we could get, but
I play dirty.
Oh, look at that. So that is our question for you today, though. Probably have better lightsabers than what we have. Are you a fan of Star Trek or Star Wars? Now, 67% of you, you're saying Star Wars.
That's where it should be.
I'm in the 28% that says Star Trek. I'm going to lightsaber you right off this studio.
Well, then you don't get one of these because you're a Star Trek fan and not a Star Wars fan.
I've got some phasers at home. We'll never bring a lightsaber to a phaser fight, Tanya. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So make sure you vote. 5% of you, by the way, say you like both of them. You can do so through our website, through the app, and, of course, take part in discussion on our Facebook page. Real quick, I did it again. I've managed to put the weather clicker somewhere where I'll never find it. 7-day forecast. We continue to warm up. We will be 86 tomorrow, 85 on Thursday. Cold front Friday brings us down to 71, then brings us some scattered rain chances. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, we start to warm up next week, but we're also watching some isolated to scattered thunderstorm chances through most of next week. So not a lot of rain on the way, but it's rain on the way.
All right. Well, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, we've got Jennifer Webb in the studio from the VA in to tell us about how you can benefit veterans and enjoy a fun run or walk or roll in the process.
And we'll have another look at that forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
All right, I'm back in studio here this morning with Jennifer Webb, who is a nurse practitioner with the Joplin VA, here to tell us about a really fun event coming up this Saturday in Joplin. Thank you for joining us, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me. We are going to be having a 5K fun run at Landreth Park Saturday the 8th at, well, the opening ceremony starts at 8:45 a.m. The run starts at 9. We encourage the public to come out and run with our vets. It's an awesome thing we're doing. It's a first one of our kind here in Joplin.
So this is it's called like a train to run program?
We started a train to run program at the Joplin VA back in May. And the name's kind of deceiving because you don't actually have to run. You can walk. I have a gentleman in a wheelchair who rolls. We just want people to be able to get out and participate to get healthy. And
so they've been training for this and
they
working
have.
up to it
They have.
since May. And
yes.
Saturday's the big day.
Saturday is the big day, yes. We've been looking forward to this since May.
Okay, so if you want to come out and join them, basically you're coming out for emotional support, but you can run with them, you can walk with them.
Yes, yes, we would love to have everybody out there. Like I said, it's not a timed race. There's no registration fee. We do have a limited number of water bottles and t-shirts we're going to be giving out. We just want everybody to come out and participate and have fun with us.
How often have the veterans been getting together for the training program?
We've been coming together every Monday and Wednesday, twice a week. When the weather is super hot outside, Missouri Southern has been kind enough to lend us their student rec center track, and we've been running there. So, you know, they've been faithful. They've been showing up.
What are some of the changes you've seen in these veterans since they started the training?
Well, I had a gentleman who was post-COVID who was having to use an inhaler to go any distance, and now he doesn't have to.
That's awesome.
It's helped with his lungs. I have my gentleman who was in a wheelchair who could only roll himself for 15 seconds without assistance at the beginning of this program, can now do over 30 minutes by himself.
That's awesome.
I have others that have just, you know, they say they have increased how fast they can walk, they've increased their endurance for running. It's pretty rewarding to see the changes.
And it's, I'm guessing it's not just the physical that's changing in them either.
No, it's the mental. I mean, these guys have got a bond, and it's just awesome.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the Joplin VA. I know it hasn't been around for a long time, but
No, we've been open for for about 3 years.
3 years.
There's 5 primary care teams. We have mental health services, we have x-ray, we have lab. We have a lot to offer at that clinic. You know, we serve, my team, I'm team 4, we have about 1,000 veterans on our team, and each team is about the same size. So we serve at least 5,000 veterans, not counting the ones who come in from out of town. We call, you know, travel vet clinic. If we have a veteran who's passing through who happens to be ill, they need to have medical care, they come into our clinic, we see them. I mean, if you're a vet everywhere.
That's right. And if you need vet services and you want to find out more information about the Joplin VA, that Saturday would be a great opportunity.
Yes, we are going to have someone there from enrollment in case somebody wants to enroll. You know, bring your DD-214, or actually don't even need to do that, just show up.
There you go. All right, so let's break down the details again for the event. Saturday, October 8th, you said opening ceremony started at 8:45.
Yep.
The run, walk, or roll, whatever you prefer,
Yes.
will start at 9, and it's all held at Landreth Park.
Yes, it is.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I think the weather should be great Saturday, so.
I hope so.
It'll be cooler in the morning, so that'll be good too.
Yes, it'll be great.
All right, so come out and support the veterans and join them on their 5K. We'll be right back. We take this time to honor today's 4th-state hero, Major Daniel Ward. The Joplin, Missouri native began his service back in 1991 in Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan, and Germany as part of the 6th ADA Brigade. This decorated veteran also earned 2 Bronze Stars. To Major Daniel Ward, we thank you. Today's 4th-state hero.
All right, time for some Tuesday birthdays across the area. And we begin in Oswego with Adler Hookie, celebrating birthday number 3. And this comes with love from Mom, Dad, and Big Bro. Happy 3rd birthday, Adler.
Adeline McDaniel turning 3 years old this year. Looks like she got the face paint on and everything there. Adeline is getting birthday love from Grandma, Papa, TT, and Uncle Bub.
And we've got Corbin Insminger, celebrating birthday number 4, the golden birthday over in Moran, Kansas. Happy birthday to you, Corbin.
All right, and in Columbus, because the party's always in the bus,
Always.
Scarlett Long is 7 strong this year. Look at her ready to party in that party dress.
Absolutely.
Love it.
We've also got Jalissa Wright turning 9 years old, and this comes with love from Mom, Dad, Lacaria, Isaiah, Thaddeus, and Dan. Also, a very happy birthday to you, Jalissa.
All right, and out in Hepler, Kansas, Heidi Mingarelli turning 9 years old this year. Happy birthday, Heidi.
And we've got Cadence Killebrew turning 16 in Baxter Springs. This comes with love from Nana. Very happy birthday to you, Cadence.
Macy Haley celebrating birthday number 17 this year. Macy is down in Miami.
And up in Pittsburgh, we've got Tucker Harrell celebrating birthday number 17 on the beach there. Hopefully he's able to make it back for this birthday. A very happy 17th birthday to you, Tucker.
All right, happy birthday, Tucker, and happy birthday to Kim Trowbridge, celebrating birthday number 30 this year. The big 3-0 for Kim in Chanute.
And over in Frontenac, we've got Lynette Downing celebrating birthday number 46. I love that photo. That's really cool. I like that. So, Lynette, a very happy birthday to you in Frontenac.
All right, Chris Kerr celebrating birthday number 48. Chris is out in Chanute.
And we've got Marcia Bourret celebrating birthday number 68, also in Chanute. Looks like the party is in Chanute this year, or today.
Yeah.
Marcia Bourret, a very happy birthday to you.
That's what I would say. And in Parsons, Rita Horton celebrating 99 this year. Looking great there, Miss Rita. Happy birthday.
Our birthday list continues with Maggie Ann Jones celebrating birthday number 2 in Frontenac. Cheryl Haynes celebrating in Riverton. Daniel and Sonia Blackford celebrating their 18th wedding anniversary in Lamar. And Adam and Christy York celebrating anniversary number 14 in Lawton. Happy anniversary and birthday to you all.
All right, and if you have a birthday or an anniversary, you can send them to us. It's easy. Just send a picture and all the info on when the birthday is and how old they are, and their name, please, first and last if you can, to birthdays with an S at KOAMTV.com, or you can send it to birthdays at KOAMNewsNow.com.
And if you ever pay a visit to our website, which we know you do frequently, make sure you sign up for the KOAM Birthday Club. You can get some awesome deals from local vendors and a nice little birthday message from us. All you need to do is go to KOAMNewsNow.com and sign up for that KOAM Birthday Club today. And today we are watching this. It is a cold front off to our northwest that will eventually make its way here. And it will make for some changes in our forecast. Right now, clear skies at 7th and Range Line in Joplin, 58 degrees, so a very mild start to this Tuesday. And we got decent temperatures across the area so far. 48 Iola, 50 Fort Scott, 52 Welch, 54 Miami, and 55 in Neosho as we start today. Kids set to get on the bus here in the next 10 minutes or so. Clear skies, 54, light southeast breeze. We hold on to that light southeast breeze all day. But we have increasing cloud cover, partly cloudy at 3 o'clock and 81 degrees. And as we go through the rest of today, we will get mostly cloudy by the afternoon with an afternoon high an unseasonably warm 83 degrees. And heading into tonight, we remain mostly cloudy. No rain from this yet, but we remain mostly cloudy and stay mild, 57 for the overnight low. It's the future track that holds a little bit of promise for us. There's the cold front. As you can see, very spotty activity on it come Wednesday morning, and it will swing in here by Friday, and it's going to adjust our temperatures for a little bit and bring us some rain chances. So as we head into Saturday, Sunday, Monday, isolated to widely scattered shower and maybe even a rumble of thunder chances as we head through the next couple of days. Then we get into next week. We warm up, but we have a system coming in out of the southwest that brings us isolated to scattered shower and thunderstorm chances almost every day next week. So we're not talking a complete washout, even though we need the rain, but we are looking at chances, again, nearly every day. And then as we head into Thursday evening is when we start to see our best chances of a little more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity in the area. 7-day forecast. So we go 86 tomorrow, mostly cloudy, partly cloudy Friday and 85. then look at Friday. That cold front comes through, 71 Friday, 74 Saturday. Shower and thunderstorm chances on the increase, not significant, but chances nonetheless. And then we start to warm up again as well as we head back to the mid-80s to start the next week. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities in Labette County, Kansas are investigating after 2 people were found dead Monday morning. Labette County Sheriff's Office received a call around 8:30 Monday that 2 bodies, a man and a woman, were found at 693 16,000 Road in Mound Valley. They have not been identified and their deaths are considered suspicious. KBI has been called in to assist. A Craig County, Oklahoma man is dead following a crash Monday morning. Authorities say 60-year-old Stephen King of Welch was driving his golf cart out of a private driveway waiting for traffic to clear. When he drove forward, he hit the side of another car, which made him fall out and get hit by the trailer attached to the car. Authorities pronounced King dead at the scene. The driver of the second car was not harmed. Police in Oklahoma discovered 2 more victims who were wounded in a shooting at an Oklahoma high school football homecoming game. Police initially said one 17-year-old died and another 17-year-old was wounded in the shooting Friday at McLean High School for Science and Technology in Tulsa. But authorities said on Monday that 2 more victims were treated for gunshot wounds. A 20-year-old woman and a 9-year-old girl both were treated for their injuries and released from the hospital. And a Missouri man pleads guilty to the murders of 2 cattle ranchers. Garland Joey Nelson admitted in July of 2019 he had a business dispute with the brothers Nicholas and Justice DeMille. The brothers were in town from Wisconsin to collect a $250,000 debt that stemmed from a cattle deal when they went missing. Nelson admitted he shot and killed the 24 and 35-year-old at his mother's farm and then burned their bodies. He was sentenced to 2 life terms in prison without parole. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And the forecast you need to know as you head out the door will have increasing cloud cover and be mostly cloudy by this afternoon. 83 for the high, still unseasonably warm, and a very mild evening ahead of us. 57 the low with mostly cloudy skies continuing. 7-day forecast, got a cold front coming in by Friday. It's going to bring temperatures down to 71, and then it leaves us some isolated to scattered shower and thunderstorm chances Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And by Sunday, we start to see temperatures return to the mid-80s.
All right, well, coming up today at noon, we're making weeknight shrimp fried rice in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
As opposed to weekend night fried shrimp?
Well, I mean, you make it on during the week. It's a weeknight thing.
Okay.
You can make it tonight. Weekend
okay.
night would be you'd have to wait till Friday or Saturday.
All right. Well, I wonder if the recipe's different. And of course, your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings next. Thousands are still homeless across Florida as the cleanup continues following Hurricane Ian. Manuel Borraquez continues his reporting from on the ground.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, we've got the Wren brothers in studio to tell us all about the scary fun you can have at the Waco Schoolhouse Haunt.
Plus, our own Carrie Worthen takes us to Parsons, where the Kansas Supreme Court held some hearings. That's going to wrap it up for us for now. We're back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.